Hello grade 10s, we on task 6.12 page 190 and we will do transactions 16 to 19 in this video. Okay, on the 16th merchandise was sold to Y Shelley for 200 Rand. It was wrongly posted to the account of Y Shallow. You can see the two names are very similar, so that's why you can make the mistake. You sold on credit, so it's DJ. And, okay, so what was supposed to happen? You sold it to Y Shelley, so Y Shelley was supposed to be debited, but it wasn't. And Y Shallow wasn't supposed to be debited, and they did. Okay, so showing you the answer, you will see, okay, to Y Shelley it was supposed to be debited, so now we do it. Y Shallow was debited, and it wasn't supposed to be debited, so now to cancel it, we have to put it on the credit side. Okay, looking at the two of them then, if we look on the 16th, general journal voucher, general journal, debtors control Y Shelley, and that means an asset increases, okay, and Y Shallow, an asset decreases, so it's plus and minus 200 Rand. Okay, that was the 16th. Okay, so let's look at the 17th. The bank informed Corvette Stores that Y Shelley's check, which was received on the 14th, have been dishonored due to insufficient funds. Okay, so the check on the 14th. So let's go and look at the 14th, the transaction again. So what was the amount of the check? We received 819 Rand and we allowed a discount of 21 Rand. Okay, because this was in the CRJ, I received it, so now to cancel it on the 17th, I have to go to the CPJ, just the opposite. Alright, so it was in the CRJ, now I have to put it in the CPJ. I'm reversing the transaction. So, where bank was debited and debtors control was credited, it reverses now and bank gets credited and debtors control gets debited. Okay, because we want to increase the asset again, we want him to pay us again. Alright, we must increase his account so that he owes us the money again. And the discount that we allowed, we can't allow discount if he didn't pay. So we're reinstating, we're reversing the transaction, and we're increasing the full amount now. So what happened in essence was, right, so we received the money. This was the CRJ side, received the money, okay, and we allowed a discount. So the debtor becomes less on the credit side, so we're making the debtor less because he paid the 840. But now, because it's a dishonored check, we have to go to the CPJ and we have to increase the debtor again and the allowance. We are reversing this transaction. So you will see there, debtors control is debited, bank is credited, and debtors control is debited with the discount, and discount allowed now is reversed. So if it was normally an expense, it now works as if it was an income. So if you look here, plus and minus the assets increase with the debtors control, and the discount allowed is an income. Okay, so then lastly, on the 19th, stationery purchased on credit from Naspel & Co. for 397 was entered in the relevant journal as 937. So this is in the creditor's journal. Okay, so we entered far too much, so we must make it less. How do we make something less? We put it on the other side. So what happened in the CJ? So what happened in the CJ is the following. Okay, what happened in the CJ is the following. Okay, we decided to do an expense, okay, of the stationery here, right? So there was an expense, and we wrote the amount was 937. 937. So we debited that, and we said creditors control must be credited. So creditors control must be credited with 937. So that was our transaction. But, okay, so this is the expense, so it decreased the owner's equity, and that's a liability. Okay, a liability, and that's owner's equity. Okay, so it increases here with 937. But the correct amount was 397, which is a lot less. So we are supposed to have, okay, 397 left. We're only supposed to have 397 as a stationary expense. And we're only supposed to have 397 as a creditor. Okay, so what do? We want to decrease this so that it becomes that there's only 397 left. Okay, so the amount that we are using there, okay, we have to decrease it by 540. Okay, we have to decrease it by 540 so that there is in the end a balance of 397 left. Okay, so I'm working below the line. There must be a balance. It must actually be 397. So to decrease the 937 to get to 397, we must credit the stationary account with 540, and the other account is creditors control. Okay, and now we are left, if we balance the account, we are left with the 397. Left with 397. Okay, again the creditor, let's show you again. Okay, so stationery must be credited with 540. Okay, and creditors control must be debited with 540 because we want to decrease it. So that's stationery. Alright, so creditors control must be debited with 540. And now if we balance the account, there you can add nothing there. That's 937. So the balancing figure there again will be 397, and our creditors account balance on the credit side is 397. So to decrease any amount that's big, we need to put it on the other side. Okay, so to put it here, on the 19th, creditors control with NASPL will be debited and stationery will be credited. Okay, stationery works like an income now. Okay, it's normally an expense, but now works like an income because it's on the credit side. Owner's equity increases on the credit side, and remember, if we debit creditors control, it means your liability decreases. Okay, so the liability decreases over there. Okay, so that was the next 3 transactions.